Buenos dias y muchas gracias for being interested in this gymnastics workout. This time we're going to learn bridge with a simple 20-minute routine that consists of warm-up, muscle conditioning, bridge hold with instructions and a quick after stretch. Keep doing this stretching routine regularly to maximize the elasticity of your muscles. Some of us might have a natural advantage considering joint hypermobility. That means a person's joints have a greater range of motion than is expected or normal. Most babies and children are naturally very flexible. Many people become less flexible as they grow, but hypermobility continues into adulthood for some up to about 20% of people. Being flexible or bendy or double jointed is not usually a problem, and for some, like dancers or gymnasts, it is an advantage. Hypermobility that does not cause pain or other symptoms is referred to as asymptomatic joint hypermobility and does not need to be treated. But enough of this jibber jabber, you are here to learn bridge, let's get on with it. We will start off standing and move to a quick warm-up with compound exercises. Hip and back movement, doing hip circles. Let's focus on maximum range of motion and do 8 repetitions for both ways. I'm going to put a progress bar and timer so you can track your time. I will also show you some exercises from a different angle so you have no problem to follow along and make the best golden gate bridge you have ever made. Now let's move our hands crossed on our shoulders and make body circles. 8 repetitions both ways. Remember to hold your hips in place and move just your upper body. You don't need to overextend moving up, just focus on reaching in front as far as possible. This will wake up your leg muscles and core. Next up, we have a 1-minute frog stretch with some wrist activation. Make yourself comfortable between your legs, tucking your shoulders in front of the knee blades. If you have found how wide your stance has to be, cross your hands and go for some wrist circles both ways. And let's do some hand waves next. Make sure your fingers are crossed and your wrist moves without pain. Change the direction. And our last move in this Slavic squat is wrist pumps. Hold your wrists at an upper angle while pumping some blood in those joints. Good. Now let's do some slow mountain climbers, so we can get our heart rate up a notch. We go quality over quantity here. Move your leg as close to your chest as you can. We do every exercise for 45 seconds and 15 seconds rest sequence for the next 9 exercises. Make sure your shoulders align with your wrists and keep your body hollow. With every exercise, you can go for 1 minute if you wish and don't need resting or position fixing time. Next, we're going to extremely stretch our hips and quadriceps with this kneeling quadriceps exercise. Make sure your heels are not completely under you and you can switch the positions of your legs to make your stance better. Go down on your elbows or better yet on your upper back. All of those exercises will further help with your bridge and your mobility overall. Just make sure you stretch regularly or after a heavy workout, at least. Let's move on to our stomach and support our Cobra Pose with hands straight in front. With heels together, try reaching ground with your hips. If you feel your neck is tense when trying to gaze at the ceiling, for example, go for a neck circles while keeping the position of the previous exercise. Doing compound stretches gets you ready for practicing a specific technique. It's a time saver and actually improves your coordination or cooperating activation between different muscle groups. Alright, now from this position, slowly move your hips far back. Adjust your hands straight, hips and knees aligned. In this position, push your shoulders on the ground, keeping your head looking straight ahead. This is getting your shoulders and upper back ready for the next sequence of muscle conditioning exercises, where we train all the muscles that will support our bridge later. Oh yeah, reverse plank next. We start from sitting position, putting our straight hands behind for support and pushing our hips off the ground to get our legs straight together as well. Let's hold a straight line, shoulders aligned with your wrists for 45 seconds. You got this. This will activate your glutes and hamstrings with a strong upper back and shoulders supporting it. We do hip bridges next. Put your feet flat on the ground and hands curled, palms down, above our shoulders. We are just holding the starting position of a proper bridge, but we are just going to push our hips up in repetitions for a minute maximum. If you get your
reps automatic, try to match the hand positions for later on. Okay, let's move on to forward bend push-ups. We want to put our hands down about shoulder wide in front of us, standing or in a kneeling position if it gets too hard. Let's move our head looking forward and bend our arms, moving our head up and down between the hands. Use as much support from legs as you feel like. We are just trying to work muscles and the movement that helps to go to a bridge. Next exercise, we move to a prone position, holding our hands up, bending our elbows to move them sideways and back up in repetitions. This will further help activate our shoulders and upper back. Let's stay the same but move our hands flat beside us for a support on prone back extensions exercise. Hold your heels together, force some weight on your hands and push your legs up, activating glutes, lower back and hamstrings. Remember, being flexible is only good if there are strong muscle groups complementing this elasticity. Without this symbiote, elastic joints are prone to more injuries. Well done! I think we are ready to start practicing our bridge now. Remember the starting position we did before. Hold your hands behind your ears, move them a little bit wider and up to make it easier if you need. We're going to do as many bridges as we have in us for 5 minutes straight. Start to push yourself off the ground slowly, easing into it. You can leave your knees bent, but try to stretch your hands straight first. For a perfect fixed position, move your legs straight as well and hold your head up. I recommend holding each bridge for 10 seconds and doing a sitting forward stretch or plow pose between the bridges. A bridge is an element where the maximum mobility of your shoulders, hips and back is being put to test. Besides this workout, what else do you need for a good bridge, you might ask? Well, it is crucial to have adequate shoulder and thoracic mobility through extension. It can be quite difficult for most, especially if you have tight shoulders. However, having shoulders and thoracic flexibility will prevent potential load onto the lumbar spine. which may cause discomfort and pain. During a gymnastics bridge, the lower back is primarily used for stability and should not be primary source of extension for bridging skills. An ideal bridge model should demonstrate an equal distribution of the mobility demand through the shoulders, lower back and hips during a bridge. This reduces the load to one structure and helps to distribute the forces created and avoids the lumbar fold into extension, thus reducing the risk of lower back pain. If you get stuck on the ability to stretch your arms in bridge, then it is best to focus on shoulder mobility exercises to get the stance better. Once the hands are straight, you can control to maximize shoulder stretch from your knees. When straightening and getting your legs closer to your hands, so will your shoulder, hip and back hyperextension improves. As is with every other maximum amplitude stretch, you need to exercise every day to see the results and to loosen the muscles and joints. Make it your mission and move towards it every day. You will feel good about yourself and make yourself more fit and able. I will show you some more advanced bridge versions you can challenge yourself with, for example. First one is a bridge twist. It involves starting in a bridge position with one hand supporting your body and the other hand moving in a circular motion above your body, resembling the movement of a screw. It's also cool to move to a bridge from a standing position. This needs hip movement and strong shoulders to take the landing. Or we can move to the bridge from a handstand as well. Remember that all of those movements start with a strong basics. Learn your bridge well before you try to add components to it. I hope you are doing good and are ready to move on to balance this maximum movement we did to those poor joints and muscles. We are going to cool down and do a reverse stretch to it all, with the first one in the Plow Pose. From your back, move your hips above your shoulders. Reach your toes on the ground in a pike position, or widen your legs to make a room for your head in a tucking position. We hold it for 45 seconds and rest for 15. Move onwards to reach your toes in a seated forward bend. 45 seconds. Also focus on your breathing. Bring your pulse down by breathing in deeply from the nose and breathing out from thinly bursting lips. Next up is a figure 4 stretch, where on your back you move your legs up, tucking one from your knees and reaching your other leg over the tucked one. Tie your hands together behind the tucked knee and rest your head. We hold 30 seconds for both legs. And completely relax other muscles while staying at the moment. And let's switch the legs. And for our last exercise, we stay on our backs and move our straight hands in front. Move one arm straight beside you to the ground, shoulder height, and twist your whole body on top of your arm laying on the ground. Keep the other hand straight up. Force some weight from your body onto the shoulder as much as is comfortable for you. 30 seconds each arm. And switch your side. And there you have it, a stretching session in the can. Shake your limbs and shoulders like a tube man in front of a car sales. Hope you're feeling limber and ready to attack the responsibilities of the day with maximum physical mobility. I'm very grateful to you that you tried my workout. If you liked it, be sure to check out my other workouts and stay active. Bye!